I'm fully aware of the irony of using the internet to criticize the internet, but it had to happen sometime. In the past, before the internet, we had to do a lot of very boring things, including using libraries. They offered a very limited choice, and like some kind of monastic order, demanded total silence. But at least when you returned the next week, all the books remained unchanged. There wasn't a librarian with a black marker censoring anything they didn't like. Well, not unless you lived in a totalitarian country. Nowadays, internet censorship is the norm, and its negative effects have spread right throughout society. I can remember how slowly the Brits initially warmed to the idea of the internet. They loved to text and email, especially on their Blackberries. But as for the rest, it took them a while to adjust. I guess looking back, their suspicions were confirmed. But that was a different time and a different Britain. Of course, it's all changed now. Whole generations have been brought up to expect infinite entertainment, instant information, and a legion of friends from around the world. How the hell is the real world supposed to compete with that? I predict a time when a whole generation will refuse to go outside. But the internet is a world within a world, brightly coloured and highly simplistic and free from disease, offering the social benefits of virtual community without the commitment of any true solidarity. The internet pushes a false paradigm, shifting mass opinion and easing minds as the real world slowly dies. In Britain, many libraries have been sold off to developers and gentrified because libraries don't make money. If anything, they lose it. Besides, most of the books in the world have been digitized, so when the originals have turned to dust, their words can live on. Unless, for some strange reason, there was a massive electromagnetic pulse and the entire body of knowledge of the human race was erased from history. Imagine if prehistoric man was not so primitive after all. After an electromagnetic pulse, nothing digital can survive, and neither would our legacy. Future archaeologists would have very little to go on, perhaps some plastic packaging and various corporate insignia, which they'll think are the gods of our global tribe, which essentially they are. I wonder how many would go crazy if the internet went down, if Google or Alexa didn't answer. No signal, no GPS, no virtual friends to rely on, no shops, no food, no power. The technological dream turned nightmare. There'd be sobbing in the streets, suicides in their millions. For some, it might as well have been their god that had died, and not a commercialized surveillance network designed to coerce billions into giving up their human rights. I'm still out here, living in Legacy Earth. I haven't gone back to basics. I still use technology, but I've reclaimed my headspace. The internet and I have never really got on, and we were both so full of promise at one point. But these days, we keep our distance, because the internet is not my friend. It's a friendly face for an authoritarian society designed to replace what it's trying to duplicate. For those raised online, I can fully understand your skepticism. How could the world possibly exist without the internet? Well, usually technology is superseded. Imagine if some bright spark out there designed a teleport device and could instantly transport you anywhere. Would you go? Or would you rather stay here and watch videos of somebody else doing it? The internet will die one day, and not so far into the future as you might think. And when it does, it's going to take a lot of people down with it. As for the survivors of the new Stone Age, I hope they have a good memory, because there won't be much else left to rely on after a worldwide wipe. If you're watching this outside, especially if you have a beautiful view, then I'd like to apologize on behalf of the internet. Look away from your screen for a moment and take it all in. That's where we live, in the real world, out there. It can be difficult, even brutal at times, but it's here for us, and it's here for life.